We wanted to figure out how we could use the components of what self-storage generally is made of, but make them a little more beautiful. My name is Daniel Lyman. I'm a managing partner of GetSpace. We built 12 facilities up in Portland, Oregon, starting out over a 5-year period. And then we built a few on the East Coast, and we wanted to be a company that was coming at this from a beautiful perspective and target beautiful locations. We never really liked the look of a traditional self-storage. As we were locating our sites in more prominent locations, they needed to change. We didn't want to change unrealistically, but we wanted to figure out how we could use the components of what self-storage generally is made of, but make them a little more beautiful. And so we looked at the different metal types and the spans and the thicknesses and the widths of the metal, what they come in. We didn't want to do a custom size cut to 7 1/4 inches, right? We like the metal because it's durable, it looks good in pretty much any light, right? It won't feel old as quickly as some others, and we still incorporate other elements architecturally, storefront glass and all these pieces to make them look very rhythmic and themed. With every project that we did, we said, okay, what did we learn from this one? What can we apply? We had the consideration, well, how much is it going to cost? Does it translate into return on investment? And we saw that on our very first one. So we tried our approach. The very first facility in Hillsboro, Oregon, went up 70% occupancy in about 7 weeks. And if I go back through and look at the building iterations, we built, I think, 13 facilities over about a 5-year period. As we learned how the materials went together, incorporating the concrete with the glass, with the metal, we said, okay, how can we use these to the full advantage? We just said, no, just tell us what we can use and we'll figure out how to make it look great. We built a facility on Columbia Boulevard in Portland, Oregon, and it is basically 4 sides. It was a cube, one side is slightly slanted, so it's a trapezoidal shape as you sit on the site plan. Because it was so plain, we said, well, we're going to have some fun with this particular project. We said, let's just use a computer-generated program to do a random algorithmic pattern that we like as they go across the building. The installers were going to install every 12 inches regardless, and we just said, well, we'll just tell you which color to go in which order. And it turned out quite awesome. It's got glass on the 2 main sides that line up with these alternating colored panels. It became the piano key building, and it was used in quite a few publications. As we continued on, we adapted some of the metal pieces. We built some taller projects, and that required a different approach in the metal panels. We do like the versatility of the metal, right? And we liked just how it feels and how it performs in the weather. We just have to make sure we have a good seal on our building behind, but the actual metal facade, we're having a lot of fun with the designs of them. And so the iterations as we went along did change, but we still used some of the same philosophies. My business partner, one of his favorite projects was located on Ward Road in Vancouver, Washington. We used corrugated metal panels on that one instead of flush metal panels. Every so often we slotted in a darker gray panel just to break it up a little bit. My favorite one is probably the one on Columbia Boulevard, the piano key. For a typical developer, I would put the precedent images or ideas in front of the design team. Show them buildings that you like. A lot of the storage buildings were like, well, it's nothing fun to look at, but there are some elements of certain projects that we've said, yeah, we like that, and we could probably incorporate that and maybe even improve upon it. Let's create a little collage of ideas and then say, okay, design team, build me something like this. It's far easier to just get right into a project with someone that knows storage. And as we've done this, especially with Mako, we've developed a relationship where they know what I'm going to expect, and I know what I can get out of them. Stick with the storage, people, because we know how to get storage done with them.